we spring forward, you know. I mean, these are the times where you make those good ideas work for yourself. You know, these are the times where you grind. These are the times when you practice. Look, I've been practicing bass more than I have in 20 years. Like literally, I've been in the basement of my house just really, really practicing, and I'm kind of sweet right now.
Yeah, you kinda.
I'm kind of sweet right now.
Kinda. What?
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
looking forward to it. So yeah, we just wait for Tamar to come in. I'm sure she is.
It'll be like literally
Close.
We have our producers, Eric and Lito here with the right. If you guys go on our page after the show, you'll be able to see the little hype video that we just did.
Oh yeah. We had to turn it up
to one of Tamar's songs.
But again, hey, I just want to put another plug in for TourLifeShow. What we're doing is we're trying to bring information to everybody, to especially people who want to get into this industry, just to give you nuggets, just to give you things.
There she is.
Hi.
Look at her looking beautiful as ever.
What's up, Tamar?
Oh, takes one to know one.
What's up, darling?
Hi, Ronnie.
I'm so glad you're doing this with us. Hey, how you feeling, my little?
Your beard, your salt and pepper. I love it.
Now, when the pepper goes away, it's all gone.
Cool child.
What? Why?
When the pepper goes away, it's all gone.
Oh, okay, got it.
I mean, but when that pepper goes away, I'm out of here. What's up,
You
Tamar?
holding on to each strand. Understood.
I love it. Oh my goodness. Well, let me introduce myself. I am Lyric, and it is so good to have you on the show, Tamar. We're super excited to sit down with you and to hear your story. Here on Tour Life, what we do is we love to sit down with the legends and the legends behind the legends to get inspired and to tell a story, allow you guys the opportunity to tell a story to inspire your fan base and the people that are aspiring to be in positions like you are. And I just feel like tonight is going to be an amazing episode. I'm super excited to hearing your story and everything that you have going on. And I know that you and Ronnie have some amazing stories from what I've already heard. So I know it's going to be an amazing episode. For everybody that's just tuning in, welcome to Tour Life Tuesday. We're your hosts, Lyric Richey and Ronnie Garrett, and we are here with the Tamar Braxton on this episode. And we're so excited. Yes.
I'm excited as well. It's great to meet you, Lyric. But I just want to let you know I am not a legend. That's something I aspire to be. You know, I want to get there one day. I feel like I'm just getting started, you know, and to take that kind of credit would be just irresponsible in my eyes. But thank you so much, because that's what I aspire to be. I appreciate that.
But that's it's all about the mindset. If you are there mentally, then you're period. So by you declaring that and you manifesting that, you know, there's power in the tongue. So girl, I'm with you. I support. Yes.
Yeah, but Tamar, I gotta say, you know, people don't really know, but I have been with you. I've been rocking with you a long time, girl.
Yeah.
I know. I think Tamar was 15.
I'm 15. Yeah.
And we were working together because
We were.
Look, I want to hear the story. So
well, I actually, Tony Braxton was the first gig for me that kind of legitimized my whole career, because before then, I was.
Before I'm listening, he's like, now I'm talking now, Linda.
do it.
Guys, Linda is Ronnie's wife. Everybody's like, who's that?
No, but before like that moment, that was a big moment for me in my life, because I was finally performing with somebody who was relevant at the time, because my whole career, I was always playing with somebody who had it before, and I was coming in on the back end of it, but Tony was fresh. So that's when I met Tamar and the whole, you know, if you met one of them, that's the way it was. And man, we can't even get into all of that. We had so many times, but I'm so proud. I've just seen your whole journey. I've seen your whole journey. I've heard your dream. I've heard you talk to me. I've heard you tell me, hey, I see myself doing this, and to see what you've been able to do and know you the way I know you. I've always told you, every time I see you, it warms my heart to see you doing your thing, girl.
Thank you, Ronnie. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You know, I have been talking about, being a singer for a long, long time. A long time. I actually never seen myself doing anything else. It's like I just basically fell into the television portion of entertainment, right? But I always knew that I would be a singer. I mean, I thought I'd be Mariah Carey by 18, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yep.
I'm here now.
So what was that gave you that inclination? I heard that you had a moment when you were younger where Whitney Houston told you that you were going to be a star. Was there something that was even leading up to, even before that encounter with Whitney, that you were just like, this is what I'm passionate about? Can you tell us a little bit about that story?
Ronnie, I think you were there that night. We was on tour. Do you remember that night?
Yeah.
We was doing, yes. But before that, I knew I wanted to be a singer at age 5. I was watching Star Search, and I begged my mother to let me be on Star Search. Of course, we were country bumpkins then. It seemed like it was light years away. I don't even know if she took me serious. But before I knew it, like, my sister was a superstar by the time I was a good maybe 13 and a half, maybe. And I didn't know she was a star. I thought she was just singing, still singing, but like singing in bigger venues, right? I didn't know. I know, isn't it funny? When I realized my sister Tony was Tony Braxton, it was when Let It Flow came out. Isn't that funny? Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, listen, Ronnie, we've been performing in all of these places, and people are screaming our name, and I'm just thinking we're performing as a family like we always did.
You realize it was Tony out there doing. I'm serious though, Tamar. I just remember when Tony first came out, and then and Breathe Again was out, and I just remember us starting and nobody knowing who she was, and then we hearing the song all day on the radio, and then I remember we were on tour, and then our buses changed, and then our hotels.
The buses changed.
Wow.
So those times, Tamar, I might have to leave here and go upstairs. I got a picture in my closet that I see every day. This guy, Tamar, Tracy, Trina, and Tawanda, like back in the day, and it's in my closet.
Oh, please go get that.
I'm gonna go get it before.
Yes, but back to what you were saying, Lyrica. I remember that night. It was in LA.
I'm gonna go get upstairs and get that picture.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this episode around 8:40-ish, 5:40-ish your time, Tamar, we're gonna open the floor up to questions. So for those of you guys that are tuning in, there's a little box at the bottom of the screen where you can ask your questions, and then we'll have our producers come on and they're gonna choose one, and then we'll shout you out and we'll let Tamar answer the questions. But wow, how cool that you guys have so many stories.
So many stories. But the one you was asking about, Lyrica, in particular, about Whitney, I remember that night. I remember we were in LA, and I was usually still the loudest out of everybody. And not purposefully, but that's just who I've always been. And I remember singing background. It was, my sister used to kind of showcase us like as the 4 of us singing background. And we was basically killing it that night. Like, serious, we was going in. And I remember LA and Babyface being there, and Whitney and Bobby. This was a long time ago. Whitney and Bobby were there together. And she was in the back, and we came around in the back, and she looked at me and she pointed at me. She was like, you gonna be a star. I heard you all the way back there. I kept saying, who was that? Who was that? And I was like, oh, thank you. And it's just so funny that I used to hear that all the time, but it never meant anything to me until it actually happened, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, I didn't walk around, with a big head saying, oh, this person thinks I can sing, or this person thinks I can sing. It was always something that I always knew, and it was important to me that people understood that. So.
Right.
Yeah, I can totally even relate to that of your story. And I'm curious as to understanding, with you knowing that, what were some of the things that you would do, and how are you practicing, and like what were some things that you were just doing on your day to day to get to, this big revelation into where you are now?
I never stopped practicing. I just would sing and sing the hell out of my favorite artists all the time. And that time it was Mariah, it would be Whitney, but always so much Mariah was in vogue, Escape. I mean, I would sing everybody's music and learn all of their runs and, all of their stuff. And so I just was so much in love with, the voice, and so whoever could blow, I was
Hey, you
practicing their
win.
stuff.
Wow, I love it. What would you think is one of the biggest challenges in the beginning of your career that you had to face and overcome?
I think it's the comparison of my superstar older sister. It was really difficult for a long time because this is before the television show. I had this big voice and this big personality that nobody could kind of put two and two together because it was basically unheard of. Most superstars that are like real cool and, just real laid back, or that's the part that we are allowed to see. But, back then I was just basically untamable. And you got a big voice with a big personality. And one of the problems that, I ran into was, people wanting me to be her. And, my refusal was, evident and always, steadfast. Like, I'm like, I'm not my sister. I'm not wearing no gowns. I don't want to sing no slow song. I want to pop, lock, and drop it. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. That was tough at first. That was tough.
That is so good. Yes. Oh, wow. I mean,
That's pretty accurate, Tamar.
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Yeah, I could only imagine just just going through your mind, how am I going to make this separation? How am I going to be myself and show myself and stand firm? Because at least from what I've seen, Tamar, you do such a good job of stepping outside of the box of your sisters and branding yourself and being very firm and, hey, look, this is who I am. So to understand that you recognize that very early on is so key and so important.
And let me say, that's tough. I mean, when you got a sibling, your sister is Tony Gray, your sister is really, really successful. And then you come in, she's the youngest. And you got that's really something to overcome. So yeah, I mean, that's something, people can sit back and judge you and stuff like that, but you have no idea of how that whole dynamic works.
Exactly.
And you don't have those kind of opportunities, so you really can't relate. So it's easy to sit back and say, why, but you don't really understand the whole dynamic of something this big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it. So for those of you guys that are just tuning in, we want to welcome you to Tour Life Tuesday. We are here, the Tour Life Show, with singer, songwriter, TV personality, Tamar Braxton. And we're just getting into the nitty gritty of the beginning of her career. I am very interested in understanding, I had a question now. I'm just like drawing a whole blank. We were just talking about the separation between Tamar and Tony, and I'm interested in understanding what it is that what was that first "This is Tamar Braxton" experience for you?
In terms of when I felt like I had arrived, or like when I felt like, okay. It's so funny because I didn't even feel it during Love and More. I absolutely hated that song.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Yeah, because again, I wanted to put out Hot Sugar and twerk and all that stuff with my friends and stuff, and once again, I felt like I was going down the path of being silenced and kind of like, calm down, and I didn't want that, I think the first time for me is when I performed at the American Airlines Arena, and I did an event for Bishop T.D. Jakes, and now I'm singing a secular song now. I remember it was my birthday weekend, and it was not too long after Love and War had come out. And the one was the single at the time. And I did the one, and I did Love and War, and afterwards everybody was on their feet, and I just felt like I came too. So it was like Bishop was there, Tyler Perry was there, it was like everybody I looked up to, you know, was on their feet, and I just couldn't believe it. So that's the first time I actually felt like, oh, well, okay, well, this working. You know? Yeah, so that's the first time I felt it.
Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. I'm telling you, Tamar, and I hadn't seen you when I saw you tour with the Escape tour, that tour. When I came to see you perform, I just sat back there and I was like, wow, this is really crazy. I'm just looking at you, and I remember when, see, people don't really know that you were touring with Madea Goes to Jail.
Yep. Yep, that's the first thing I did outside of my sisters.
Yeah,
wow.
She was touring with Madea Goes to Jail, and so Tamar, and you know, we were just out on the road, and so after the shows, we would talk a lot, and she told me everything that she's doing. I mean, not the TV stuff, because we didn't see that coming, but she told me that's what she wanted to do. Like, I just remember some of those conversations. You were like, you know, she left the tour because she was going after her thing, you know. So I just remember those things, and I just remember sitting in that arena, and I'm looking around the arena, and it's packed.
Stuck. Oh, okay, we back.
I'm just glad to know that the things that you really set out to do, you're knocking them down. You're accomplishing them.
Thank you. You know, manifestation is a real thing. And, you know, back then I had no idea that's what I was doing. Like speaking my success over my life, speaking my hopes and dreams over my life, because I was serious about it. And I kept telling myself and telling other people. I mean, not all the time did people look at me like, oh, it's actually going to happen. People was looking at me like I was crazy most of the time.
Yeah,
You know, I thought I was ridiculous.
I remember sometimes you used to be so, you know, she would just say stuff, and we would look at her like, and then I'm telling you, I had an epiphany that night in that arena. I'm just looking at you, and I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. You know, just seeing you in your element, doing your thing. I was just blown away.
Yeah.
I really was.
I mean, I could only imagine. Wow. And I know that it's so, it's challenging, especially for women in the industry, to go in and to dominate when we walk into rooms. So can you talk to us a little bit about how when you were just grinding and you were trying to figure out this is Tamar, and you were doing your Tamar Braxton thing outside of your sisters, what were some of the things that you would tell yourself, and how would you walk into rooms and be like, hey, like, I'm about my business, this is what I want? Can you tell us a little bit about that portion of your life?
Okay, you're not going to believe me, but I'm incredibly shy, right? No, for real. I don't know people. Like, I walk into a room and instantly I'm like, right? But I think the first thing that always got me through was my confidence in my voice, in my talent. I knew I was talented. And I knew that it didn't matter what the person thought about me personally. Initially, I knew that my talent was going to speak for itself. And then the real conversation would start, right? So initially, somebody like me would go into a room and they would think I just want to sing because my sister is Tony. That's what you get. Right? That's what you get. And then you hear the material, and then that's why I said then the conversation starts. Then they see, oh, well, she's talented. Now let's see if she's serious about it. And then the conversation is, oh, I want to tour. I want to do an album. I want to work with this person, that person. I always came into a meeting very, very clear about what I wanted to do. So I never kind of left it up, you know, to other people to, you know, give me their thoughts and opinions. I always had a list of producers that I wanted to work with, where I wanted to go with my sounds, what I thought my image was going to be, and things like that. Now, along the way, I've let, you know, a few people here and there with, you know, being signed to a record label kind of talk you out of some shit, you know what I'm saying? And that never worked for me. But the only time that it really, really worked is when I stuck to my guns about everything that I wanted to do, the way I wanted to look, the kind of music I wanted to sing, what I wanted my album to look like. You just have to go in and imagine it all and tell someone, this is what I want to do. This is what I see. This is right. This is what I've manifested all these years. And also, this is my vision. I need to see my vision come to light. And if you can't help me do that, then this is not the right place for me to be.
That's so good. That's so good. Do you think that you understanding what your vision was, do you think that was something that took a while to understand? Because I know that for a lot of people, you know, we go through these seasons where we're like, man, like I'm trying to just get clear with what it is that I'm trying to do. And I've always gotten the encouragement as to, you know, it's never going to happen overnight. It's always going to be a process of your experiences, things like that. Was it like that for you?
Yo, you would think with all of the connections that I had, right? And all of the people that I met and all the people I was friends with along the way, that, you know, things would have happened for me earlier, right? Or sooner. But it just did it, you know, and it did it because number one, I did let people sway how, you know, I was going to come across to the world and what they thought I should be doing. But also, listen, things doesn't happen until it is time. And, you know, I didn't get my first hit record until I was 36 years old. And you have to think about it. Ronnie just told you I've been on tour since how old? What, 15?
15.
Yes, I didn't get my first hit record till I was 36. Ooh. So, you know, you just got to keep, if you believe it, it's going to happen. The time you give up is, I mean, listen, why give up if you're going to be here anyway? You might as well keep going at your dream and keep going at your craft.
And go hard. I love it.
You might as well. What's stopping you? What, I mean, because I see somebody here, oh, why y'all shading Solange? I just wanted to touch on that because I meant to say this earlier. I knew that it wouldn't be easy for her. And it's so crazy because I saw myself in her a whole lot. I knew she was talented. I knew she was gorgeous. You know, I knew she was a great songwriter, but I also knew how humongous her sister was, right? And how hard it could have been for her to get her voice heard and to get her music heard the way that she saw it, right? And so, like, when I say I didn't get my first hit record until I was 36, how old was Solange? Solange's been doing this just as long as I have, right? She was very, very young coming into the business, and she didn't get her first hit record until what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? So, you know, it's sometimes people think because you are affiliated with this person or that person or related to this person, that person, that you'll have an easier stride. No, it actually makes things harder, way harder, you know? Yeah. So, you know, as far as, you know, me, I think that people started to get, to understand my craft when, you know, I wouldn't take no for an answer and I never backed down. I think the same thing for Solange. Like, imagine how much we would have missed out musically had she stopped. Had she stopped that, oh, you just Beyonce's little sister. You know, she's got some amazing magical musical moments, you know. I know to my life, she spoke to me, you know. And so my mantra all the time is keep going, never stop. Who cares? The only person who is aging you is you. That's it.
Okay. Yes, that is so good and so true. And I really feel like it really does show, even with the comparison of Beyonce and Solange, it shows when an artist takes time to actually understand, hey, this is who I am. Because it's very easy to get swayed. I'm an artist. I get it. It's easy to be influenced. It's easy to by everything that's going around you, especially when you are close to a superstar. So when you are able to lock into, hey, this is period, this is who I am, and this is what I'm giving you, and this is what I want in return, I feel like there's a longevity that comes with that and that strength and walking in that power and just running with it and not taking no for an answer. So that's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, look, if you're just tuning in, TourLifeShow. Hey, we're here with Tamar Braxton, and again, this is a format. We're just trying to bring you information and data that can give you gems and just help you make decisions in your career to better yourselves, because it's all about the decisions that you make in your life and in your career.
Yeah.
Whatever decision you make, you got to ride it out. So
Yeah.
if it's a bad decision, you got
to ride that out.
You got to ride that shit out.
Period.
Like, yo, turn up.
Yep.
Hey, I see Peanut is on here.
Hey, congratulations, Peanut. He done jumped the broom.
Yeah. Hey, look, he didn't tell me.
What? Uh-oh. Sorry. Uh-oh.
Tamar, I'm going to call him after this. I'm going to get him.
Uh-oh. Did I really let the cat out the bag?
Yeah, you did. I'm going to get him. He didn't tell me. I talked to him, too.
I'm just joking. I'm just playing.
No, you ain't joking.
I am. He did. I thought no, he did. I dreamt that. I dreamed a lot of stuff.
Just have your phone on at 9:05.
Look at it. We are on here.
I'm
just causing. I love it. Wow. Only on Tour Life.
Only on Tour Life.
Only on Tour Life. He ain't did nothing.
So also, listen, you know, this COVID thing, it's some good things and some bad things. The good thing that has come out for us with TourLifeShow is that we're able to catch the butt at home. And but when this COVID thing is over and we get back, I know you're going to allow us and our team to come and check out some of your stuff, check your show out, check out your new show that you got out, up to some stuff, and we have a studio over at the Rue Brothers Studio. We have a beautiful facility that we're shooting out of, and I'm just excited, man. Everything is just flowing.
This time is definitely needed for creatives. You know, Tamar, what are some of the things that you've been doing with the whole COVID lockdown things? What are things that you were doing at home or just to stay creative?
Well, you know, at first I saw I'm just going to put it out there like this. We on lockdown again. Okay. Okay. But the first time we were on lockdown, I saw it as a complete negative. So my birthday's on March 17th. Our lockdown started March 13th. I was still trying to go.
Negative.
Hey.
I was devastated. Let me tell you something. I was still trying to go to Mexico for my birthday. I was like, but the planes is flying. People still going. And, you know, I mean, I was like, all of my friends and my boyfriend was like, well, it looks like you're going to be going by yourself because nobody's getting this COVID. So I ended up staying at home. And that night on my birthday, I changed my perspective on everything. And then COVID, the whole lockdown started to look like a vacation, you know? So I just decided, okay, well, you know, I didn't have to lose my 8 pounds for my birthday that I do every year to make sure I look good in my pictures, right? I didn't have to, I mean, I wanted to put on a birthday dress, but I didn't have to put on no heels. You know what I mean? I didn't have to leave my house. I was on the couch. Logan and my boyfriend made me dinner, and I sat on the couch in my pajamas all day long, and I ate and I fell asleep, and I woke up the next day and didn't go to the gym, didn't take a meeting, didn't feel guilty about nothing. I started to look at it like, oh my God, I can chill, you know? And because I haven't had a lot of that, everything has been like on the go, you know? And then the most beautiful thing about this whole lockdown was I got to be able to really pay attention to my kid, you know? Yes, it'd be sometimes I could pick him up or drop him off at school or, you know, help him do his homework every now and then, but I'm just gonna be honest, it wasn't all the time, and it wasn't a lot. You know, he had his own, you know, program. He had a nanny and things like that, people to pick him up and things like that. But this time I had to be at home teaching him. And that was a lot for me because I was not smarter than the first grader at all. And so what that helped me do is really zero in on the things that he was struggling with at school, what he didn't need as much help with at school, what he liked to have for lunch. You know, these are important things as a parent that, you know, that is important to us, and it should be important to us. But these are things that I realized I was completely missing out on. I was missing out on his whole childhood, and so now I have a real strong grasp of who he is, what he likes to do, what he likes to watch on TV, what he likes to eat, what doesn't he like, where he needs help with his work, and know that he's like a big old mathematician. You don't need me or anybody else for math, but you do need more time with reading, because he doesn't like to. So it really helped me get closer to my kid, which I'm really, really, really grateful for.
That is so
That's
good.
great.
That's good.
I'm telling you, Tamar, I was the same way, but I was starting to feel like, hey, you know what? It's been so long that I didn't have to think about the band, this, that, and I really had an opportunity to just chill, and just recharge my battery. And now I just feel so creative. I feel like
me too.
When this opens back up, it's gonna be like the gold rush out here.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be pounding, the promoters, the artists, the studios, the everything. So I just encourage everybody right now, if you're a writer, if you're an artist, if you're a musician, hey, this is your time to train, because when this thing opens back up, it's gonna be wide open. And if you're in good shape and tip top shape, you're gonna soar.
Yeah, absolutely.
What that mean, tip top shape? Like as what? Because I ain't in tip top shape. I'm probably sitting on my lap right now.
Not tip top shape.
Oh no, not.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
This is prime time for us to just look back at ourselves mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, tap into some gifts that you've been sitting on. Last week's episode, that's what we were talking about. Just when you have a gift, it's very, very, and when you have a calling, it's very important to go out and reach that calling.
And this whole COVID pandemic situation was like, you know how you play musical chairs? Free! This is your life. This is your life. Free.
Yeah.
This is your life. Like, okay, like, I don't really dig this, like I'm in the house with this person, I don't really like this person, or I'm in the house and I love this person, or it was a true chance to see what your life really is, because it was like, our reality is here, because no money is coming in. It's like, freeze. It's like, what do I have? Like, am I cool or I'm not? So, like I said, man, this is God, I think.
Yeah.
All of this is some other stuff.
It is. It is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Once again, for those of you guys that are tuning in right now, welcome to Tour Life Tuesday on TourLifeShow. I'm your host, I am Lyric Roche, and we have Ronnie Garrett, and we are talking with Tamar Braxton right now. We've just been able to have some really great conversation about her upbringing. Even we just got done talking about how she's managing being with her kid and being able to get to know her kid even more now that we are in lockdown and quarantine. But I do want to ask for sure, what was your experience like while you were on tour with John Legend, knowing that was the tour that led up right before your first headlining tour of Love and War? Can you maybe share some key things that you learned from being on tour with him that you took into being on your own tour?
Yeah. Well, first of all, John is great. He's amazing. And he's the kind of person you can go to if you need help with anything, right? He's so smart. And yes, he's so smart, so kind, so seasoned. But that tour for me was a huge learning experience because, here I am as a new artist, sort of. But this is like my first headlining tour, and I have a gang of expenses, right? Because I'm trying to keep up with the John Legends of it all. No, Becky, this is your first go. Calm down. This is your first go around. It's not all about the bells and the whistles. What I learned in that experience is how to put together an amazing show, being me, not worrying about who's coming behind me, not worrying about who came before me. What can I do in these 35 minutes that will maximize my time on stage, where I can still afford to pay my staff and myself, because that's not always the case, and also have the audience understand who I am as an artist and have an amazing time.
Yes. Yes.
Well, what I learned was it doesn't always have to be so much. As a matter of fact, less is more for me.
It is.
It really honestly is. I had to learn how to simplify things so my artistry would be the center of the stage and of the attention, and also my voice, meaning my artistry. So I just made sure that, you know, I at least have my music that sounds amazing. Now, these are the things that's important to me. My sound is number one. I mean, my sound, because I need for you to hear me. And if you can hear me, you can feel me, right? I need you to see me, my lights.
Okay.
Okay, I need you to see what's going on. And even if you have a 2 or 3 piece band, or if you don't have a band, you create like 2 or 3 people around you to tell a story, so they understand, you know, where you're going as far as a show is concerned. Now, because this is a show, ladies and gentlemen. You know, people did not come to hear you sing, sitting on the chair the entire time with just you and nothing going on. This is a show. They can listen to your album for all of that. You know what I mean? And save their $35. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I learned how to put a story together as inexpensive as I possibly could without it looking cheap. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
That's
so.
Hey, but you know what? That right there, what she just said, is the thing. How to make something look expensive. That's the whole
you make it.
key.
Fake it till you make it.
That's the whole key.
Yeah, seriously. And I think one of the major keys that you just said that I feel like everybody should understand is maximizing your time and understanding how to maximize your time. Because as you look at your current situation, try to stay in your present. You know, don't look too far ahead and you need to understand what you have currently going on, and you got to understand, okay, what can I do to really make the most out of this very current situation? Because you do learn little gems in those moments that you can then take on and that manifest themselves into whatever your biggest dreams, your wildest dreams are. Absolutely. So I think that is so important. I think that we are getting to the time now. We're about to open the floor for some questions to see what's going on with in. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in, guys.
If you have questions, I'm going to take this last little section of the night to shout you out. See, there should be a little box at the bottom of your screen where you can type in your questions. We'll pull them up and we will let Tamar answer them as they come up. Let's see.
Now, do I need to go get my bail for these questions? I think I need to go get my bail for these questions now.
Go get your bail. I'm going to get this picture.
That's hilarious. You want
to be tried?
That's what you tell.
Okay, I'm back. Here I am.
Let's see.
Are we here?
Oh, here's a good one. Are there any actors or actresses that you're interested in working with in the future?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would love to do something with Queen Latifah. I think she's amazing as an actress. Viola Davis is one of my favorites. So, yeah, either one of the two.
Amazing. Love it. Let's go with...
I ain't lying.
Ronnie just went and grabbed the picture.
Oh, my God.
I didn't have to go like look and all of that. I ain't have to go do all that. You don't understand. For all these years, I have this right here.
Wow.
So look, and I always say, them mofos on TV acting and all that. Funny. I know this right here. You see this right here?
Period.
Look at me, Lord Jesus.
And look at you right there in the blue.
I know, Lord God.
Ain't nothing changed.
Let's see.
That's too funny.
I'm looking through the questions now. I think, let's go with this one. So I am Janae Nicole. What shaped you as an artist or as just even who you are now? You doesn't just, not just an artist, but TV personality, all of it.
What shaped me? I'm really trying to understand that question. What that mean?
So I would look at it as from the perspective of maybe who were some of your role models? What were some of the, you did mention the people you were listening to, but from a just moral good character standpoint, all in all, well-roundedness, who would that be for you?
Probably my mother, you know. She is an amazing person, you know, and she always, you know, taught us about having morals and values and not falling for anything, standing up for something and not falling for anything. And I think initially when I first started, that's probably where, you know, my strength came from, because I didn't want to, you know, waver from who I was. And so I think it's my mom, because I've learned to be steadfast in what I want and making goals and achieving my goals and challenging myself. So yeah, I guess it'd have to be her.
That's so good. I think we have another one coming up. Tati Talks. Oh, that's my sister. Hey, Tatiana.
Hi.
Give an artist starting out and trying to go on tours?
What advice would I give them for starting out or tours? It's two different things.
Let's starting out.
Okay, so starting out, like if you're trying to get a deal or something, right? I guess nowadays it's totally different. It's not really a whole lot of record company stuff, you know, that you can be doing out here. But what I would do, I would, you know, make the best possible music that I felt was amazing. And I would stalk whoever I wanted to work with and who I felt like I wanted to work with. If it's Puffy, if it's DJ Khaled, if it's Kanye, if it's whoever. And I would stay on their comments. I would put my link in their comments. I would be all in their inbox. And I would just bother the hell out of them. I just wouldn't stop until I got a response.
Wow, I love that.
You know, and Tamar, I gotta say, it's that tenacity that gets you into places. Because even, I want to say, even with me, with my career, it's never too late. But I was never aggressive. I always took what came to me. I was blessed that I always had an opportunity to take, but I was never that guy that pushed it. Yeah. You know, and I didn't get that till late. Yeah. And now I get it, and now I'm like, man. Yeah. You know, I should have been boom, boom, boom. But it's the tenacity. It's, if you want it, being discovered, that's over. You have to go out there and prove yourself. Get it. And get it. That's the way it is.
Did you ever have to do that, Tamar? Did you ever have to like hit up people consistently and just go ham like that?
Sort of. You know, I always had to like talk people into who I was, you know, and why I deserved a shot, you know what I mean? And why I was so different. Yeah. So I would already be, you know, in the door, but it was a lot to stay in there. You know, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Man, I think that's so important, because I've always gone by the whole principle of there's never going to be somebody on your team that works harder than you.
Period.
You have to show people that you're actually serious about what that's the only way they're going to believe you. That's the only way.
It. But you know what? Not to cut you off, but Tamar, honestly, to be honest, if you had not succeeded, it would have been kind of I wouldn't say a failure, but when you're exposed to the things that you and I have been exposed to. I remember one night L.A. Reid had the girls together. They had not Tony, but just the other Braxton girls. And he was just asking them questions. He was like, do you like such and such artists? I remember this so clear. And they were like, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And then he was like, okay, well, if that was you, you know what? It was just like, it's just like the education and the system that we were around and the success that we were around. You gotta get something from it. You know what I mean? And that's the way I look at myself. It's just I've been exposed to so many successful people that you start getting stuff. You know what I mean? You grew up, like I said. I mean, when I met Tamar, I was 15, and I'm you know way older, and I'm working with her. She's working with me.
I love it.
We on the same level. You know what I'm saying? So you've been so it's kind of different from her. For her when you ask these questions, because her dynamic was different.
Well, I agree, but also want to say that even with the last episode that we did, we were talking about not only is understanding, getting your education and getting this information important, but relationships are key. And all I'm hearing from both of you all's conversation again is that, you know, the people that are around you are what's going to really just help you keep going up and up and up if you understand and you understand how to work your room, you know, and how to build and the importance for that. Was there somebody, Tamar, that was that person for you, that one person that was like, man, like, thank you. If you had to say thank you for putting me on and giving me this shot, who would that be for you?
Oh my God, it's not one person. I'd get in trouble. I feel like I get in trouble. But, you know, the person that keeps coming up in my career, you know, which I don't feel like is by accident, is Tricky. Tricky and I have been working together since I was about, 16 years old, and got off the first tour with Tony. But as a producer, not just as a friend, because we've been friends that long, as a producer, he's always extended himself, extended his time, extended whatever he had going on, and invited me to it, you know, because, you know, he's just someone who's from day one understood and got it. And that's a fact. So Tricky.
Tricky's one of them ride or dies for you.
Yeah, he is.
Sure.
Love it. Okay, next question we have from Follow the Lido. What record would be the theme song to your life? This is Sumo's, but I'm assuming we're gonna go.
Hey, but look, I gotta say, Lido's the one that produces, and he was in here worshiping earlier. What was the song you were playing?
I'll tell you right now.
He's going blank, but go ahead. Answer the question.
White Candle.
White Candle.
Is one of mine.
He was in here like, hey y'all, I know we in this whole thing, but he was walking around here playing that. Thank you, Lord. Yeah, that song.
I love it.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah, that came off of the Love and War album. Yeah, so, you know, everybody know, I mean, look, I am a sipping Christian, but I'm still saved. And it's important to me. So I think the song that would be the soundtrack of my life would be, it's this record called Trust God, and it's from J Moss. And, you know, it just really talks about trying things your way and it doesn't work out. And you try to rely on your friends. You try to rely on your man. You try to rely on your parents and people around you, or even yourself. But, you know, you can't make things happen. You have to trust that the gift that God gives you, he gives to you for a purpose. And so he's not going to give you something just to let you sit with it, right? Or sit on it, right? So you have to trust that he gave it to you to give. So, that song, I think, would be the soundtrack of my life.
I love it. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yep, we were. That's so good. So I know we're looking through the questions now. We'll try to pull up a couple of more, but I do want to talk more about, or if you can just tell us a little bit more about your hair products, this new show that you're doing. Like, that is so record that you dropped. Yeah, Crazy Kind of Love. Yes.
I'm feeling that.
How does it feel to drop a record in the midst of quarantine?
Well, that was not on purpose. Was not on purpose at all. But I'm grateful for that song for so many reasons. My Del Malloy played it for me. I did a the game too. Movie Manny Haley is the producer. And I did the movie. He was like, "Hey, T, do a song on the soundtrack. You gotta do a song on the soundtrack." And everybody knows I was not interested. Not interested at all. I didn't know, where, the music industry was, especially in terms of R&B. I wasn't really here for it. Didn't like the R&B that people was putting out. It sounded like hip hop music to me. So which one we gonna do? We doing R&B or hip hop? And I really wasn't into it, right? Until he played me Crazy Kind of Love. And as a songwriter, you kind of want your hands, or you want to put your stamp on stuff, right? And not just for monetary purposes, because you just creative. But this was the first song that I absolutely did not touch at all.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I heard it and I fell in love with the song, and I fell in love with music all over again. And now I feel like I have that same smitten relationship that I had with music before I fell out of interest with it. So yeah, I'm really grateful for Crazy Kind of Love. And I'm really grateful for the support, really, because I didn't expect any of this.
That's awesome, because I'm going back to my roots, to Daryl Simmons and LA and Babyface.
Yeah.
They always said, I don't care where the song comes from. I don't have to write it. I just want a dope song.
Yeah.
And that's what that is. You don't always have to have your hand in it.
Yeah.
No, sometimes you mess it up by writing too much. Doing too much.
Okay, well, I do want to hear some more about your show and how that's going. And
yes. So To Catch a Beautician, I am so proud of that show, because I just feel like not in a long time have you seen me in my real true light as I am as a person. I like to help people. I like to crack jokes. I like a fun, positive environment, and To Catch a Beautician is all of that. Now it's on VH1, and it comes on at 10 o'clock on Mondays, and at 10:30 we do an after party on my YouTube page, Tamar Braxton YouTube page, and we talk about what happened to the client, or what happened to the beautician, and what we would have done different and things like that. But it's a place where both the beautician and the client can come to have a safe conversation. Now they don't know I'm there, but I do bust out from the back. So they can get to the bottom of what exactly happened. And show is that the beautician gets a chance to redeem themselves, and so it doesn't end up on a sour note. The customer gets to tell them exactly what happened and how they feel about things, and so everybody feels like they're being heard. And so that was really important to me. So that's why I'm really, really proud of that show. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. And you have I saw that you had some hair products too that you.
Oh yeah, I got you, girl. Oh my God, you girl.
Love it.
Yes, I got tired of everybody talking about my edges and how they fell out when I had my baby. And look, stop praying for me. Look at them. Don't pray for me no more. Don't pray for me, and go on to get your own. Oh my God, you grow, girl. So, your edges can come back, and it works. And I wouldn't be selling it if it didn't work. I wouldn't want you to spend your money on some stuff because Tamar just want to sell some stuff. No, it works. And you won't be the friend who's being teased no more, because you can see your thoughts. So that's that on that.
So funny. I love it. Well, that is, on that note, we're going to wrap. Thank you so much for your time.
Tamar, thank you so much
for this whole conversation.
Oh, no, my pleasure.
We're starting a new tradition where we love to take selfies with our guests, so we're just going to take a little time to smile real quick in the camera. We're going to get real close.
Somebody said move the pen because you can't see my face. So you might want to move the pen.
Can you move the...
The pen is moved. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
It ain't moved.
It's moved.
Oh, okay.
All right. Ready?
3, 2.
Ready?
All right. We got it.
Yay!
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
But look, when you come back to Atlanta, let us know. And we will be getting back in touch with you, because we need you for the show.
Yes.
And once we start filming again, we would love to come out to LA and come to the show or whatever. If you're touring, whatever you're doing. Every now and then, we just want to peek in on you, and just show our support and just show you we love you.
Yes. And
absolutely.
everybody for tuning in to this episode of Tour Life Tuesday. Make sure that you follow us at Tour Life Show. You can share this with a friend. We're going to be posting this and recaps from tonight on the page. And make sure that you tune in next week to Tour Life Tuesdays.
Yes. Thank you for having me, guys.
You have any shout outs, Tamar?
Well, I want to shout you guys out. This show is amazing. You know, you guys are naturals and you look great together on this TV screen, honey. And that's what I see for y'all. It looks great. And I can't wait. I can't wait till it all opens up and you guys get a chance to come to the show and come see my life, see what's going on. I mean, you definitely have an open invitation whenever you want to.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Well, we love you, baby.
Bye.
All right, we'll talk soon.
All right.